Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for July 29, 2014, 7:50 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. Going to be another nice and sunny day. We're going to be around 80, low humidity, and we're going to have low humidity for the rest of the week. Maybe have the temperatures crop up to average or above average, but no hot or humid weather for at least until Saturday. Some news to report. Toronto Blue Jays crushed the Boston Red Sox by the score of 14-1. Horrible pitching performances last night by several Red Sox pitchers. It's amazing that last year they won the World Series. This year they look like a last place team. They're going to be probably finishing in last place, and I think more trades for the Red Sox are going to happen. I heard rumors Steven Drew might be traded as well. We'll see about that. And still the saga continues at Market Basket. No decision was rendered for RDT being reinstated. The board of directors did not make a decision yet. And that's dragging this along and along and along and along. But sooner or later, they're going to have to cave in. They're going to have to give the company back to RDT. That's the guy who should own Market Basket. Because he is Market Basket. If there was no RDT running it, there'd be no Market Basket. But he's going to get the company. Don't worry. He will get the company. RDT. That's about it for that. My first subject of the day is about my continuing series on Boston independent television stations. The next one I'm going to talk about will be WQTV/WABU Channel 68 in Boston. WQTV 68 signed on the air for the first time on January 3rd, 1979 as a new Boston independent television station. At first it carried FNN, Financial News Network, which was a forerunner of CNBC, and also some public domain movies and stuff like that. But most of its day it ran subscription TV. First it was called Best TV. Then in 1979, around the summer, it was rebranded as Starcase TV. And then by 1981, Star TV, it mainly showed uncut movies and a lot of adult movies. And it lasted about 4 years. Most of WQTV's schedule around that time was based on that, and by 1983, it would the owners of Star TV went bankrupt, and then WQTV 68 flipped to a general entertainment independent television station, and they showed reruns of such shows as Star Trek, Cannon, Kojak, The Monsters, The Rockford Files, I Dream a Dreamy Jeannie, The Addams Family, Bonanza, The Honeymooners, The Partridge Family, Mary Tyler Moore, The Bob Newhart Show, BG and the Bear, and many, many others. And also, this is one of the time WQTV 68 ran network programming, daytime programming from ABC, NBC, and CBS, which channels 4, 5, and 7 preempted because they ran their own syndicate. They ran syndicated programming, which made a lot of money for advertisements. And WQTV 68 showed a lot of daytime programming from the networks, like the game shows, Family Feud, Trivia Trap, Body Language, Press Your Luck, Card Shark, Sale of the Century, Blockbusters, and also some of the reruns of the network programming that some of the channels had that they showed during the daytime as well. By fall of 1985, WQTV 68 added more drama programmings like Dallas, Mannix, Knots Landing, Medical Center, and the others, and they dropped the network programming that the channels 4, 5, and 7 in Boston preempted, and that they never, and for a time, those shows were not on another station in Boston. By Thanksgiving in 1985, WQTV 68's owners, Arlington Broadcasting, got into a lot of financial difficulties. They weren't paying the syndicated programming companies on time. Bad financial shape. By Christmas of 1985, most of the staff of WQTV 68 was laid off, and the station was on the verge of going dark. I remember TV Guide did not even carry listings of WQTV 68 in the Boston market for several weeks because of the uncertainty of the station. And WQTV at this time had it air barter shows. I remember they had it air AWA Wrestling and a couple of other local wrestling programs. Also, they had it to bring back public domain movies. They had it to have religious and minority shows, and many of the reruns of the syndicated program of classic television shows had to disappear for a time on WQTV 68 because the syndicators weren't being paid by them. But by, I think, the spring of 1986, everything was all settled. The WQTV 68 was in better financial shape. They reinstated preemptive network programming from channels 4, 5, and 7 to air on WQTV 68. Then they brought back some of the syndicated rerun shows that they were broadcasting, and they were getting into kind of good financial shape. Summer of 1986, WQTV 68 owners, Arlington Broadcasting, sold it to the Christian Science Monitor, and by the spring of 1987, WQTV 68 dropped the network preempted programming from channel 4, 5, and 7, and they brought back reruns of such shows as The Rockford Files, Canning, Kojak, Barnaby Jones, The Carol Burnett Show, and they added a lot of family-friendly shows, reruns like Leave It to Beaver, McHale's Navy, and a couple of others. And then they got reruns of The Wonderful World of Disney, Captain Kangaroo, Fairy Tale Theater, Danger Mouse, and others, and also shows produced by the Christian Science Monitor were popping up on WQTV 68 for 2 hours a day around 1987. By 1988, WQTV 68 added more reruns of classic television shows like T.J. Hooker and Charlie's Angels. I remember they would show Charlie's Angels at 4 p.m. on WQTV 68 weekdays and noontime on Sundays around that time as well. And they were also having reruns of Fantasy Island and Starsky and Hutch and the Rookies and Airwolf and Hardcastle and McCormick around this time as well, and also Policewoman. But by the summer of 1989, the Christian Science Monitor kind of took over most of WQTV 68's schedule. The Christian Science Monitor had their own programming, and the reruns of the general entertainment programming was shuttered to maybe late nights from 11 to 5 in the morning. And Christian Science Monitor showed had their own programming like Today's Monitor, One Norway Street, Affairs of State, Inner City Beat, Today's Monitor, The Daily Bible Lesson, The Children's Room, The Good Green Earth, Eldridge on Sports, and so many others. And the Christian Science Monitor was rebranding WQTV 68 to be the Monitor Channel. And the Monitor Channel launched on all the cable networks on May 1st, 1991, and WQTV 68 was called the Monitor Channel. It was rebranded the Monitor Channel. And it was a pretty decent channel. It was, it was kind of a niche channel, but I think that niche channel came a little bit ahead of its time, because this is when cable TV was, starting to get into the niche channels, and it was starting to explode with this channel. But I think it came a little bit too early, because it was at a time where the United States was in the middle of a deep recession. But it didn't get any ratings for the cable at all, and by 1992, the Monitor Channel and WQTV 68 were on very financial difficulties, and there's rumors about WQTV going off the air and having been on sale. And also, this time they was kind of reinstating the old reruns back on the air, while the Christian Science Monitor shows that they had to put in reruns because the Monitor Channel went out of business. They had to show something, and also they showed some old movies again. And by the fall of 1993, the Christian Science Monitor sold WQTV 68 to Boston University, and it was rebranded as WABU TV 68. I would like tell you about the WABU's history in another blog coming up later on in the day, because this would, if I continue to talk about it, would have been go over my 15-minute time limit, and I cannot do that because I wouldn't be able to show it on YouTube. I would only be able to show it on Facebook, so everything has a time limit on here, 15-minute time limit. So that's about it for the WQTV Channel 68 version of it. And some of the slogans WQTV's had was, this is WQTV Channel 68 Boston, quality television for Boston, or this is Boston's fastest growing television station. The voiceover of WQTV 68 during the QTV 68 one was Rob Schuler, who was known for being the voiceover of the Phantom Gourmet commercials, and also the sports title with Eddie Andelman on WTKK 96.9 FM Talk. Well, I'll be back a little later on to tell you the WABU version of Channel 68. Have a good day, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. That will be coming up very shortly. Bye.